Hello, I'm Tom Martin from the University of California, San Francisco, Helen Diller Family Comprehensive Cancer Center. And I'm joined today with Blood Cancers Today Editor-in-Chief, Dr. Sagar Lonial of the Winship Cancer Institute in Emory, Dr. Shambavi Richard of the Center of Excellence for Multiple Myeloma in the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York, and Dr. Peter Voorhees of the Levine Cancer Institute in North Carolina. And this is our first roundtable of discussion on BCMA-targeted CAR T-cell therapy. Yeah, it's very exciting seeing all these very high response rates for the CAR T-cell therapies. But I think we're all in the same scenario in that we would love to have more access to the CAR T-cell therapy. And so one of the biggest things has been access. So as you guys know, we have a couple more. I think we have plenty of room for more CAR T-cell therapeutics. And there are other therapeutics that are currently being tested in clinical trial. I'll just mention a couple. And these are also BCMA-targeted autologous CAR T-cell therapies. So one is known as LUMMICAR, and that's otherwise known as CT053. And the LUMMICAR data has been presented at ASH at our meetings by Saji Kumar, and he presented initial data which showed that this autologous CAR T-cell, the difference with this one is this was a fully human scFv that targeted BCMA. And as you know, that ide-cel or BB121 is murine, and basically cilta-cel is llama, right? So it's a heavy chain only, and it's based on llamas, which is interesting. So this is the first fully human, and that LUMMICAR actually showed an overall response rate of about 96%. Similar in terms of the high, incidence of CRS, but low, grade 1. High grade 1 and 2, low severe grade 3 and 4, which is great. And with that very high response rate, that drug now is in a phase 2 clinical trial, hopefully looking for a regulatory endpoint. We have another CAR T-cell, an autologous CAR T-cell that's called CAR T ddBCMA. This was actually presented by Matt Fergalt from Boston at a few of our meetings. And basically they've treated upwards of 40 patients. And this is actually a small single chain binding domain that hopefully does a closer synapse between the CAR T cell and the myeloma cell, and potentially that might be the reason why it has such good initial response rates. But in the initial phase 1/2 trial, they tested 100 million and 300 million cells. I think they're going to move forward with 100 million cells due to less toxicity, and still an overall response rate, which they have presented, of 100%. I mean, these CAR T cell therapies are so responsive. It's pretty exciting to see, and that also is currently in a phase 2 clinical trial. And even if we had both those products, or all 4 products on the market right now, I think our need for these therapeutics would basically be higher than what they could supply at the current time. Eventually, hopefully, supply comes up with demand, but right now, certainly demand is way higher than supply.